I feel like, for instance, when I'm most anxious about something, the correct thing to do is twofold. One is realize that my brain is operating out of some anxiety that's being triggered, as opposed to, let's say, out of my core truth, and then doing nothing. Because as long as my brain is not operating from my heart, but operating out of some wherever anxiety is produced in the brain, then I'm not going to make a good action.
Yeah, well, that happens to people too. And that would be, I would say, more characteristic of people who are high in trait neuroticism. So they have a tendency, high in trait neuroticism. So
what does that mean?
Well, your body is always trying to respond to uncertainty and threat, and there's plenty of it. And some people respond to uncertainty, and a unit of uncertainty and threat with a small amount of physical preparation. Because if something uncertain happens, you need to do something. Well, what? Well, you don't know. It's uncertain. So you prepare to do everything. Well, imagine that it's a little bit of uncertainty and you just massively prepare for a catastrophe. Well, you might be right. It might be a catastrophe.
Yeah, like let's say you feel a little chest pain. You might think, oh, God, I have serious heart disease.
Yeah, exactly. So like, why not freak out completely and immediately rush to the hospital? It's like, yeah, why not? Well, it's an unsolvable problem because sometimes you're right when you catastrophize. And some people are wired to catastrophize more than others. So that's pure genetics does that. So if you happen to be in that category, then that requires a different clinical approach. That means that you wouldn't be treated so much for the problems that you have. You'd be treated for the excess anxiety that you're experiencing. And there's lots of ways that can be dealt with. Exercise helps. The one thing I always recommend to people who are excessively anxious is, on this first thing I'd ask you is, what do you eat for breakfast?
A cookie.
Okay, so I can tell you this. You'll cut your anxiety 50% if you change the way you eat breakfast. So eat a protein and fat-heavy breakfast and eat twice as much as you want and do it every day. And you'll find you will not believe how much difference that will make to you.
Is that really true?
Oh, absolutely. And a cookie is the worst thing you could possibly eat for breakfast. So let's say you have a hyperreactive nervous system. It sounds very probable given the sorts of things that you've said today. So you react with a lot of preparation to rather small signs of threat and uncertainty. Okay, so you sleep, you wake up, you stress yourself, your body hyperproduces insulin, takes all the sugar out of your blood, and then you're in a hypoglycemic crisis. You won't fix that till you sleep again. So what you need to do is you need to get up in the morning. I would also recommend get up at the same time every morning. You can go to sleep whatever you want. Get up at the same time. Pick a time. I don't care when it is. Pick a time. 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever.
So you wrote this in the book, and I questioned, it's different from, let's say, Arianna Huffington's book on sleep, where she recommends 8 hours.
8 hours would be good, but I'm doing minimal interventions here.
Okay.
It's like, you're not going to get your whole life together.
Yeah.
We're not going to aim at that. If you want to do two things that will really change your levels of negative emotion, it's like, first of all, get up at the same time because you should stabilize your circadian rhythms. Because if you're more emotional and more prone to psychological pain and anxiety than a typical person would be, you might have unstable circadian rhythms. And the best way to stabilize them is to get up the same time every day. That would be a help. And then I would say, before you do anything, eat. Don't look at your email. Don't look at your phone, nothing. Get up, eat. So I'm not hungry in the morning. This isn't enjoyment. I don't care if it tastes like cardboard. Enjoyment will come 2 years from now when you start to become accustomed to eating breakfast. For now, and just try it for a month, because then you'll know. You'll be way less anxious. And what'll happen is you'll notice that things don't bug you as much. Something will happen and you'll think, I'm not reacting to that as much as I usually do. And then you'll also notice, I reacted to that, but I recovered faster. That's what'll happen. And I bet that if you did that for a month, you'd find your anxiety levels drop 50%. And then that might put you back in a more normal range. Maybe not. Maybe you'd still be higher anxiety than normal. And then there's other things that could be done. It's so funny. People will come and they're just anxious and paralyzed, It says, well,
I think that's
do you eat breakfast? No. It's like, well, you're starving. Okay, so let's fix that first. Well, that won't work. It's like, let's try it for a month.
I think there's a disconnect, like somehow in our society, there's a disconnect between food and the concept that food is fuel that runs the body and the brain. 25% of our calories a day is burned by the brain.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you're stressed.
Yeah, so we need food as fuel, and I don't know if people really think of it that way.
Yeah, and you don't want to use carbohydrates. You want to use fat and protein. So that's the other thing. Protein, fat heavy. Stay away from the sugar. Don't eat any carbohydrates in the morning. Eat bacon and eggs. Eat cheese. Eat peanut butter. Don't eat bread. Don't eat cake. Don't eat cookies.
So let me ask you, so
I've had clients, I said, well, I won't cook breakfast. It's like, okay, that's fine. Go to the bloody pharmacy and get a case of Ensure, which is what you drink if you're diabetic. Drink 2 Ensure when you wake up in the morning. It's like, that'll only take 10 seconds. It's not a full meal, but it's a hell of a lot better than nothing. Start with that. Whatever will do it, man. Make a milkshake with peanut butter and milk and drink that. Try it for a month and see. You'll see. You'll be calmer. No doubt about it.
All right, I will. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. No problem.
If you like this animation by my good friends at Food Fight Studios and you want to hear more from the James Altucher Show, which I hope you do, then make sure to download the full episode now and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.